Welcome back. This is National Geographic Weekend. I'm Boyd Matson. I'm in Montana, where I have been. We've been in Montana with the National Geographic Hands-On Explorer Challenge kids who won the contest, 15 winners and their parents going all over Montana. So we've been discovering mountains, glaciers, rivers, beautiful scenery, a lot of wildlife. We've actually seen a grizzly bear. We're going to put some of that video up on our website so you can see it. But we've also discovered a radio show called the Zooniacs, Jungle Jack's Zooniacs, and Jeffrey Heyer and Rmi Jeff are two of the hosts of this program, kids with their own radio show that started by building zoos in Montana. Is that right?
Yes, it is. We, a long time ago, about 2.5 years ago, I got into the hobby of zoo building and going to zoos, and Rmi soon caught on, and we eventually created this radio show.
So you were building model zoos, and by the way, that's Jeffrey. Welcome to the show, Jeffrey. Thank you.
Thank you so much for having me.
And the zoos you're building, these are like replicas of real zoos?
We've mixed in kind of real zoos that we've been to and our own kind of design. It's kind of an art, too. I like to say it like that.
So it started just as like making models, and then suddenly it's become actually doing real wildlife experiences and sharing them on the radio. So Rmi, how did you go from making stuff in your bedroom to having a radio show?
We just enjoyed, studying animals and creating these model zoos so much that we wanted to take it to the next level. So eventually we had the opportunity to create the radio show.
And now, are you trying to appeal to kids your age?
Yeah, just any kids like 5 to 13, in there.
But you also take trips, you go out and, of course, you've got a real resource here at Glacier National Park,
yeah.
But you've also taken trips to other places, and then you share reports on what you've seen?
Yes, that's correct. We have been to places like the LA Zoo, the Calgary Zoo. We've done shows in Glacier Park before, just all over the place. Anywhere we have opportunities to talk about animals and study animals.
And by the way, Rmi, how old are you?
15.
So Rmi's 15. And his voice is way too low for me because now we're going to be into a challenge. It's like guys that come up to somebody a little taller than you want to stand up straighter. Now I've got a guy with a voice deeper than mine. I'm here. So, Rmi, maybe the last question for you. So, Jeffrey, Jack Hanna appears on your show on each episode.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're so lucky to have Jack Hanna on our show every
Really?
month.
Does he know what he's talking about?
Oh, yes, he does. He knows pretty much everything. You want to ask him about animals.
Of course, we're talking about Jack Hanna, who has his own TV shows and was the former director of the Columbus Zoo, director emeritus now. And he does know everything about animals. And so does he talk about places he's been around the world and the animals he's seen other than in the Rocky Mountain area?
He talks about places he's been, but mainly about the animals he's seen and learn about animals at a zoo in Columbus. And he has been all over the world exploring, so it's so cool to talk to him.
And now, you share an animal of the month with your listeners?
Yes, Jack Hanna appears on our show every month to talk about a different animal. And we try to make it a more exotic animal that a lot of people haven't heard of, to, tell our listeners about the other animals out there that not many people know about.
And Rmi, do you get to pick the animal, or does Jack pick this?
Most of the time, Jeffrey and I choose the animals.
So what appeals to you in an animal? What makes you say this animal deserves to be the animal of the month?
We like to find animals that are really interesting, and they have something special about them that a lot special characteristics that not a lot of other animals have.
Do you know kids particularly like funny-looking animals? So does that enter into it? Is this a bit of an ugly contest?
Sometimes we find animals with weird trunks and weird tusks and deer and things. It's just crazy. You can find so many weird animals.
Now, it seemed like a fun idea to have a radio show, but there's got to be a lot of work that goes with this because now you have to research all these topics, and you have to be like Jack Hanna. You have to be the experts.
It's so much fun because we get to do this so young, and a lot of it's by kids, for kids, and yeah.
Do you get a response, Rmi? Do you know the kids write in? Do they call in?
Yes, we get emails every month about just we do the question of the month sometimes, where we ask an animal question, and our listeners email in the answer. We have emails for jokes to do on the show. One of our segments is animal jokes, so we get emails for those sometimes.
Off the top of your head, do you remember an animal joke?
Let's see.
Oh.
Jeffrey could do this
Here,
better.
I'll give you an animal joke. How do you tell the difference between a grizzly bear and a black bear when you're looking at their poop?
The size.
No, the grizzly bear poop has the bear bells in it. Bear bells are those little bears that you see hikers wearing or carrying on their trekking post to scare the animals away, but some of us think they're actually dinner bells for the animals. So you can put that... You can borrow that joke on your show. The Zooniacs. It's a great... This is just shows if you have a passion for the outdoors, you can express it a lot of different ways, and you can learn more. It inspires you to learn more about it, and then you can share it with a larger audience. And is this show online?
Yes, it's online. You can hear... We do a new show every month. You can hear it on Saturday mornings at 10 a.m. and on demand.
All right, how do you find it online if somebody wanted to go to their computer?
You go to bigvalleyradio.com, and then you go to shows, and it's Jungle Jack Zooniacs, and it brings our whole website up.
bigvalleyradio.com. So you can check it out. You can hear the Zooniacs, Jungle Jack Zooniacs. You get to hear Jeffrey and Rmi and a whole bunch of other kids here in the area doing reports, as well as Jack Hanna. Can't beat that. Thanks, guys.
No problem. It was so much fun.
Thank you very much.